Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's home, and this is Smokey Steve and Marc. Welcome or welcome back. And you don't even know. You don't even know. This week was a rougher one starting in the beginning. I'm on my way to therapy right now, so it's a little after 5. I have to get there for 5:30, but there could be traffic. I only have to get on the interstate for like a few minutes, and then this light's off. It's not green or red. People. So I had to do some homework for therapy. So I had to take the prompt that my therapist gave me of if treatment works, where do you see yourself 6 months? What are the things that you'd like to say you've worked on that are goals and things like that. So I ended up doing it via text to myself so I could give it to him. I could have handwritten it, but work was kind of steady today. I was in the office all day yesterday. Monday, Tuesday were not great days, but okay. So we'll see. I am optimistic about the therapist I'm seeing. I saw him once before. This is our second session. And I get the feeling we're going to get a little bit closer in this session, because the first one with any therapist, it's hard to tell, I don't like the therapist. Every therapist is kind of like usually in the same session. Like you might like them in the intake where they say, what are your histories, how many meds, what is this, what is that, any history, family, mother, daughter, son, whatever it is, to look for things. And that's the first one with everybody. And now this one, we're going to start talking about what are the goals for treatment. So the goals I had written down are on my phone, so you can't see them. But basically the 6-month goal for treatment was to look like not crying in the morning going to work, at least 5 out of 7 days. I don't cry when I just wake up, because it's been happening on the weekends too. And so that's being dealt with. I'm not working on a weight loss program, but eating a little better tends to usually be a part of me doing a little better. So I'm going to clean up my food a little. Mark's offered to be supportive, but I also have to keep in mind that my problems are my problems. Mark can always support, and I would support his. We're married, that's the gig. But this is something he can't do for me. I have to do for myself. So we'll see. We'll see. Other goals, let's see. Weight was one of them. Crying was another one. Steady work attendance. So not taking off half a day here, day there. I'm not talking about like scheduled paid time off or anything like that. Or it is, but it's on short notice, because I don't get a lot of notice when manic episodes are going to happen. Most people don't. Sometimes there's warning signs, but I don't want to have to deal with those, and so that's another goal. There was a couple other ones. I'll talk to you when we get back to the house, but the hope tonight is to have a good session. Mark's home. It's usually his late night, so he came home a little bit late so I could drive to this. And then I'm going to get back. I'll film me and let y'all in to see how everything went and if it was good and if we all lived. And I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay? Bye. And just like that, therapy's over. So, session went pretty well. I was there 55 minutes. It was a good session. I like he's a licensed clinical social worker that I'm working with. New to the practice, but I also just found out that his schedule has filled up very, very, very quickly. And because it's filled up so fast, unless I get on his short list of patients, I'm not going to be able to see him for a while. So I'm going to have to negotiate at work and see if I can find a day that'll fit. I think Monday, I'm going to have to take some time off. He had some interesting thoughts. In case you guys are new, I deal with anxiety a little bit, and it's been spilling over such in the last 6 months or so that I end up actually like crying before I go to work, sometimes in the bathroom. And I have to think about, is it just my job doing it? I like my job. I work with great people. I love what I do. I'm okay at it too. But periodically I get the feeling that the job was a handout. You're not really qualified to do anything. They just feel sorry for you or they would have fired you already, like things like that. And so to challenge these thoughts, I was told I'm going to be doing Socratic questioning. Thoughts are like a running dialogue in your brain. They come fast and go fast. So fast, in fact, we rarely have the time to question them. Because our thoughts determine how we feel, how we act, it's important to challenge any thoughts that cause us harm. Okay, so there's a space where I put the thought that's to be questioned. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. So there's a thought to be questioned, and then there's these other follow-up questions to test the reality of it and see. Am I basing this thought on facts? Is it black or white when it's really more complicated? Am I misinterpreting the evidence? Am I making assumptions? That's probably going to be yes for me. So I have those to look at, and he gave me a few of them. Then I got Intro to Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, which I've had before, but not with an individual. I've been in group therapy where I think they've tried to use that. So we'll see. And then Mastering Socratic Questioning. So this is hopefully going to be something that brings me back to reality. And not be so acutely, immediately emotional over consequences that probably won't happen, over an event that probably won't happen. Part of it, I think, for me is going to be not only feeling that, but recreating it every day. Like, the challenge I have is the morning is awful. I get out the door, I go to work, most of the day is fine. And I think at the end of the day, oh God, thank God I just pushed myself this morning, because this wasn't bad at all. This was an okay day, blah, blah, blah. I try to live through the anxiety of the day without going to the bathroom and being upset or losing my cool while I'm typing an email or anything like that, you know. And the curious part, as I was talking with him, his name's Jay, he's pretty cool, talking about work being a trigger, and he even threw onto the table discussions of, do you need time off from work? Short, long. It really is a level of unmanageability at this moment. I'm so distracted by strong feelings that I can't do my basic stuff. You know, even filming videos has been challenging as of late. So we're going to have a cigarette, I think, unless I lost my lighter, which I hope I didn't. I didn't. So we're done. It's about 6:30. I have work tomorrow. I'm going to head home. We've been talking this time, so I'm going to maybe wrap up when I get back to the house. And we'll just leave it from there. So I'll rein you back in, and I'll bring you back home with me, and then we'll finish up on the couch. Okay? See you soon. Back on the couch. I like the couch. So, uneventful ride home. Checked in with Mark, told him pretty much, I gave him like the quick gist of everything that we did. So what I talked about, the bullet point, the direction of things. Second appointment for therapy went pretty well, I have to say. I like the guy. You can't tell anyone too much in 2 or 3 sessions, but so far so good. We're going to be working with cognitive behavioral therapy, which you may have heard of, CBT. So he gave me a bunch of handouts on what it is and what it's attempting to do. And then I got handouts on how to do Socratic questions and questioning. So we're going to put an unrealistic thought up here, and then what is the evidence for this or against it? Am I basing this thought on facts? Are thoughts black and white when reality this is more complicated? Could I be misinterpreting the evidence, and am I making assumptions? I could say yes to everything, which is good because he gave me a few blank ones too. So that's the work we will do for the next appointment. Scheduling the next appointment, I'm going to be running into a challenge with work. I'm going to have to talk to them Monday because it was a week flu, and everyone was in and out of the office, and I was working from home and then the office, and like all scattered all over the place. But my doctor wants to keep the appointment the therapist wants to keep it pretty much weekly, and then taper off a little bit and go longer. So we'll see what Blue Cross Blue Shield has to say about that. I'm in favor of it. And he also said if I didn't take the next appointment to get put in, I can't get booked out for regular appointments going forward. So like if I didn't take an appointment for this Monday, I wouldn't see him until June. So there's a couple options with an appointment. It's 2:30 in the middle of a Monday. Of course I can't get away. I can do it via Zoom, which he said he doesn't like, and I don't, not either, but we've already met a couple times, so it's kind of okay. I don't know if I'll come home, Zoom, go back to work, because 2:30 to 3:30 is not my whole day. I could Zoom at work and then just stay at work and have the appointment there, and I would only lose like a half hour or 45 minutes worth of like paid time to do it. We'll see. I don't know if there's a cozy place at work to snuggle up and spill my guts. The walls might be a little thin, so that's where things were left. There was also a suggestion made that I should consider, and this was his words, and I was dismissive of this, but consider taking some time off. Just because it's best doesn't mean it's possible, necessarily. There's more people have consequences than me if I decide to not work for a while. That doesn't mean I can't work on my mental health, but his assessment was, you should think about taking some time. He's like, your life is completely unmanageable. Most people don't cry multiple times a day. I'm like, no. I said, but I have a mood disorder. They're like, you didn't have these symptoms in the last 10 years. These are new. And I've always had anxiety. It gallops in my family, I should say. But medications aren't an option. I've had a challenging time with self-help techniques, so we're going to try something different this time. And I'm on board for it. I don't look thrilled because therapy's work. Pills you just take. Therapy involves effort. So it's really put your nose to the ground and say, what are you willing to do to help yourself? So we'll see how things go. We're going to let them unfold as they may. Like I said, I came home, I talked with Mark, and he was okay with what we all talked about. Mark's cool to go to a meeting with me if I want him to, and they're open to him coming as well. So that option is there, or if Mark wants to get in touch with them and tell them something without my knowledge, just to fill them in, he has the authority to do that. I signed all the stuff for him to do. And God forbid I don't pay the copay. So we took care of that. You gotta pay first, then you'll see the doctor. So that was pretty much the events of today. I'm feeling relaxed now that the weekend's almost on us. It's gonna be coming. Thursdays are not a short day at work. They're a long day for Mark, and I took a short. Friday is my long day. Every other Friday I have to work a full day. So I do the morning in the office, and then I'm at our drop-in center for the afternoon, which is usually full of folks with lively and creative personalities who love to tell you in colorful language about yourself. And that has its moments, I suppose, too. So that was that. And then we're going to have that tomorrow, and then it's the weekend. Mark will be outside gardening. I'll have some time in here to catch up on things. I actually have some work to catch up on. And just try to make the most peace I can out of the weekend. I did look into an event that I'm going to check on again. I had mentioned it to my mom on Mother's Day that they're having a drag brunch at a bar restaurant downtown on Sunday early in the day. And I had mentioned it to my mom, and I had said, you know what, any of us could break a knee at any time, like me, her, Mark. So if we're all alive, we'll go. Says free admission. And there's about a dozen drag queens there that I know half of them, or I knew them under other names and lives, I guess. And it should be interesting. And Mom has always said, I took her to a gay bar once when she was probably 60. No, 55. And she had a good time. It was fun. We stayed till 2. I was ready to leave. Mom didn't want to go. But she's a little bit older, and we all sleep in a little bit. We all fall asleep a little earlier than we used to. So this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We can go see drag queens and have hash browns. Thought it would be a nice thing to do. So we'll see if that comes through or not. Like I said, any of us at any time could just crumble into dust, it seems like. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the other plan for the weekend. Mark and I will film, I think, together. And then we'll have a Foodie Beauty live on Sunday to do some chatting. I believe that's it. So thank you all for joining me. This is turning into a series it wasn't initially going to be, but it's Mental Health Month. At least for the rest of the month, I'm going to keep into the loop, and I'll check in weekly with how things are moving. I'll have to be honest with you. If there's been no change, I can't make a video saying there's been no change, other than to say I was like held up or disappointed or something. So I will ideally have good things to report back as time goes on. And we'll see where it goes from there. The reception was pretty good for the mental health videos compared to some of the other ones we do. They're not the fluffiest of topics. There's usually no craft that goes with it.
We'll get there. And it's a heavier topic. Some people just don't want to have feelings about it and dismiss the whole thing, and that's fine. That's definitely your choice to do. I don't, because it's here. So I have to at least give it some note of attention. At least a few times a week. God. So, rather than ramble, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You get alerts when we have new videos and go live. We're on X, Instagram, and Facebook. All of that info's down below. Thanks, and we'll catch up with you very soon. All right? So look after yourselves, look after each other. Do that. Do that. Happy Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark. He ain't home yet. Bye.